And then he goes on citing that they've seen a restoration of truths and ministries since the beginning of the Protestant Reformation of the 16th century. The following is a timeline featuring the truths and ministries restored in the past 500 years. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Because that was in that paragraph that I read from the Eternal Church, where Bill Heyman gives this example of this individual that's coming back to the present truths that have been restored in the past 500 years. Yeah. 16th century restoration of the doctrine of justification by faith and the priesthood of all believers. Okay. 17th century restoration of holiness and sanctification. This is the Wesleyan movement. 18th century restoration of the world missions. 20th century 1900s, restoration of tongues and Holy Spirit baptism. That's the Pentecostal movement. He cites 1940s. These are truths now that are being listed that have been restored in the past 500 years. 1940s, restoration of laying on of hands and personal prophecy. In parentheses, latter rain movement. 1950s, restoration of healing and miracles. Evangelistic movement, praise singing, body ministry, praise dancing. Remember that paragraph I read to you. 1960s, restoration of deliverance. Yeah. 1970s. Oh, by the way, John Eckhart is on record as saying in his books and in this dictionary, for example, that apostolic ministry should have deliverance going on, casting demons out of born-again believers. You just consider that. 1970s, restoration of faith and teaching, Word of Faith movement. 1980s, Word of Faith movement is a restored truth. No, it's not. 1980s, restoration of prophets and prophecy, worship and praise, prophetic movement, kingdom now, dominion theology. 1990s, restoration of apostles. New Apostolic Reformation, y'all, is a present truth. Did you know that? That's a restored truth right there. Yes, ma'am. 2000 and beyond. Second apostolic age, transfer of wealth, breaking down to denominational walls, nations coming into their divine destinies. And we're going to wrap this up right now with the bottom of this page on page 263 of the Dictionary of the Apostolic Revised Second Edition from John Eckhart, who is not an apostle. Restoration is not an option. A divine restorational truth is not an option or a matter of personal preference. It is a matter of accepting or rejecting what God is trying to reinstate back into his church. We must either accept or reject, condemn or condone, participate or persecute. After we have been fully exposed to a restored truth, our lack of interest in or neglect of the truth will not be excused. And in parentheses, he has Bill Heyman's name at the end of that paragraph. So I wanted to plug that in because I thought that was very helpful for us to understand the definition they have for present truth. And I'm probably going to use this dictionary more in the future. I think it'll be most helpful for me to know what these individuals are saying. They're talking about this, especially the pioneers of the New Apostolic Reformation. And with that, we're going to return back to our regularly scheduled program. Thanks for your time.